Now we'll have a presentation from Barreira, Susana Campos and João Félix with the presentation of teacher-generated drawing, green rice served at the Last Supper. Okay.
So hello everyone, my name is Barreira and I'm from the University of Lisbon for my architecture. I'm here to present a study that we have been developing teacher-generated drawing. It's a drawing generated for the teacher inside the classroom. So we prefer drawing to talk. It gives less room for cheating and for lying, as Corbusier said. We make a short movie in Cannes style. So because of the hour we'll be presenting, so everyone don't be boring, I hope. And we'll answer some questions in the end.
Teacher-generated drawings as a strategy in theory instruction has not yet been explored. Drawing in the classroom as a knowledge transfer in theory instruction has not yet been documented in the literature. In both the applied and empirical literature, we found only one documented case that specifically referred to teacher-generated drawing as a strategy. We did a search in the first quarter of 2022 on the major search engines for scholarly articles, Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar, cross-references, looking for the word teacher-generated drawing in the title. There was only one article published in the International Journal of the Learning Sciences. We found 200 articles about learner-generated drawing in cross-references, but there was only one reference to teacher-generated drawing. Is a learning strategy that consists in making representative drawings about the theoretical content of a given text that learners are approaching. The act of drawing leads to a deeper understanding of the content far beyond what is explicit in the written text. In this context, drawing is limited to representational drawings, then means that the drawing is intended to look like or share a physical resemblance with the objects that the drawing depicts. Excluded from our discussion are non-representational constructions such as schematics, diagrams, features of a geometry problem and mind maps. With these formats, the intent is the depiction of important elements but not in a form that replicates the physical appearance. It is a teaching strategy that challenges students in theory class with something they do not expect in any other way. The plan is to use drawing in imparting knowledge. Tactically, the theoretical content taught in class is drawn by associating it with a work of art to grab students' attention and facilitate communication and recall. Students draw simultaneously in their notebooks, or on the blackboard, alongside the teacher. The literature offers a positive testimony of this strategy on the part of the learner, but without evidence of the teacher's involvement. The teacher does not seem to draw. Nevertheless, we hope that students draw magically without instruction and investigate this principle as a strategy. According to Whitrox, instruction causes the learner to generate distinctive associations between stimuli and memory, facilitating long-term recall and understanding. What is the impact, in the classroom, of the strategy involving teacher-generated drawing? We use action research. Jean McNiff reminds us that action research is living knowledge. In other words, action research is not static or finished, it defines itself as it proceeds. Is a strategy and not a methodology, meaning, we are in a situation of uncertainty. We look for an outside institution. The students must be completely unknown, avoiding placing students and researcher in a familiar environment biased the results. To structure the sessions, meetings was held beforehand with the professors of the curriculum units. They wanted to lecture the methodology Green Rice by Bruno Munari. The 3 classes were from the first year, 2 from the industrial design course, 1 from the graphic design course. In a previous study, the strategy was broken down into 3 steps. 1. Begins in the teacher's notebook, where he draws the content to be transferred. 2. The transfer takes place on the blackboard in the classroom, where it puts it into action and revises it. 3. Back with reviews to the teacher's notebook of the previously transferred content, where he adds the suggestions, revisions, and improvements after the primary implementation for a future one. We have done the same. 1, 2, 3. We construct drawings during class to convey knowledge. The theoretical content was approached and interpreted by drawing, respecting the orality of the teacher, providing a context for the content through a work of art. These representational drawings operate moments of marks, thoughts. All marks, whether intentional or accidental, incorrect or unfinished, must be perceived as such, to cement an approach through alterity and empathy between learner and teacher. Students were invited to draw simultaneously with the teacher in their notebooks or on the board. Drawing focus on direct nonverbal thinking by encouraging dialogue on the drawing surfaces, blackboard/notebooks, to support group discussion, building practical knowledge that is useful to students in academic performance and dissemination. By creating new forms of understanding that stimulate action and reflection, drawing generation lead to questioning both the meaning of the information that builds the knowledge and the action through drawing that carries it out. Assess the understanding of the content exposed in class through visual narrative in drawing. Assess whether visual storytelling in drawing increased your motivation in class. Would you recommend attending these types of classes to other colleagues of yours? What did you feel during the experience? It was concluded that the teacher-generated drawing strategy works by enabling playful learning through its differentiating approach. In the experience strategy, drawing has been shown to provide a sufficient foundation to provide a rewarding teaching and learning experience. Students mentioned they could easily consult their notebooks and remember the lessons, which is a positive qualitative feedback as a strategy. Nevertheless, the lack of drawing skills of some students who were not from previous art and design fields may affect the result of their performance. Considerations for extending this strategy to other areas will be channeled in a future study. Strategy seems to have more to do with what exactly we are not doing. Strategy seems to have to do with aspects that make us unique and that we can only learn, but that can be documented so that others can check themselves and adapt to their values and abilities. By drawing the other, I become the other. By drawing with the other, we become one.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Does anyone here, Tom or here have any question? Sorry. to Rui? No? Well, we can still. We have a chat here.
How long have you been doing this?
How long have you been the study?
You know, just this style of teaching.
No, this style of teaching I've been doing all my life of teacher is about 8 years. I've been doing this for 8 years, and I started to document the the strategy that I use in the class because I teach only theory, not practical classes. And we came to develop this kind of strategy in the class to grab the students because in the theory, most of the students nowadays, they can no longer stand more than 20, 30 minutes in class. You're talking, so if you are talking and drawing, you have a moment of pause, a mark and pause, and the transfer of knowledge is optimized, and they can stand the 3 hours of theory inside the class.
So this is for theory, not for drawing. This is not the class of drawing.
No, it's theory. Theory of art and design class. Aesthetic.
This wasn't clear, so
No,
I will learn.
okay. No. Only the context of this strategy is to be applied in theory classes only. Like
Okay, so it's a tool, a
aesthetics,
strategy.
anthropology, sociology,
Yes.
theory of
History.
art, yes, history.
Rise and yes, that's very interesting.
I'm also teaching theory. I don't draw, so I'm not doing this style. And we do conversational things, but I try to get all the students to always bring up to show examples of things that they're thinking about and so on.
Yes.
So I kind of feel an affinity to what you're doing. I think it's a great process.
Thank you.
Yes, because it's a challenge nowadays to keep the students focused for
Yeah, I mean,
long
anything
periods
that's
of time.
conversational works.
In
We've done that for centuries.
I've been noticed it's not about the drawing, the drawing skill if you draw well or bad. It's about the conversation you have in the class. But it's a drawing conversation, and they can take notes, drawing notes, not writing notes. And when they look at the sketchbook, they tell me because of the drawing, they remember all the class and what
It's
they
a
were
visual
saying.
memory.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.